Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some King of the Hill doubles gameplay. This is going to be one of the few times that you actually see King of the Hill on my channel nowadays. Unfortunately, they took out the King of the Hill playlist, one of my favorite and most celebrated playlists within Halo 4, but for some reasons it just could not achieve the numbers necessary to keep it in the game, which is a shame. Nowadays you're only going to find it in the doubles playlist, or unless you count Clang of the Hill in Action Sack, which I most certainly do not. This is a disgraceful playlist. However, this gameplay is slightly more on the semi-competitive side. You know, I'm not going to say we went into game battles and we found some of the best members of Halo ever, but we had a couple of shoddy gameplay moments within this game. I'm playing with Ubernick and we had a tough start. I was doing some really dumb stuff, and luckily we managed to clutch it out, and it's pretty entertaining gameplay, so I hope you guys enjoy watching that in the background. I had a topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today, and it is regarding the Halo channel. Now, there was quite a bit of buzz generated about this when it was first unveiled, but we haven't really heard anything since, so, you know, we've kind of had time to let our imaginations wander, and I've been stewing on it for quite some time, and my initial reaction was 50% white-hot hype, 50% dread, 50% just completely worried and anxious about the direction that the Halo channel will take, because I am of the belief that a platform like this could have a tremendous amount of potential, but it's whether or not they choose to capitalize on it in the way that they could. When you go back to the Waypoint app, unfortunately, I think this is something that never really took off in the way that it could have. You know, I'm all for side content. I'm one of these guys that used to buy strategy guides, that wanted to dig deeper into my game and have more resources at my disposal. I always wanted more resources, and I think gamers in general kind of have this mentality of, you know, they don't just want to like their game, they want to get absorbed with it, and if they can't get absorbed with it, they'll probably drop it in a couple of days. You know, a lot of people have main games, a lot of people stick with League of Legends, a lot of people stick with Call of Duty, a lot of people stick with their fan favorite game, and they don't necessarily want to move anywhere else. So it's nice to have a platform where you can dig deeper and enrich your experience. And I never felt that Waypoint was potentially, you know, very capable of doing that. Waypoint app in general was never an interface that looked aesthetically pleasing. There was a lot of blue, and the thing is, you know, blue is actually my favorite color, so you would have thought I wouldn't really care about this, but it's kind of a dull color of blue. It's not particularly bold, and it doesn't particularly stand out. It wasn't somewhere where I wanted to spend a lot of my time on. At the same time, it would have multiple crashes on a regular basis. If I used my phone, I'd switch to the next bit, and it would be crash, and the Waypoint loading times were just disappointing. This is something you want to do quickly, this is something you want to do on the fly, and you want to do mid-game. Plus, I think in a lot of ways, Waypoint kind of enticed you with gimmicks. For a lot of people, you know, going onto the Waypoint site or going onto the Waypoint app or exploring, you know, 343's resources that they had at their disposal, at the beginning, it was just a way to get these codes for DLC skins, to get DLC weapon skins, etc., armor types, armor variants, avatar items, and it wasn't really, you know, used in the best way possible. And what was really there under the surface, you know, people went for those gimmicks, but what they found was just statistics, and to be honest, they could have gotten a bit more in depth with them. I think there's some really interesting stuff, like, for example, the maps where you can see, you know, the zones that are most hotly contested, which is really beneficial for, you know, working out strategies on the maps and digging deeper, like I said. And you get, you know, a little bit deeper strats in terms of, you know, you can check back in games that you've previously played. But that was about it, you know, there wasn't really much to it, and a lot of the stats could have been put in the game itself anyway. You know, I'm one of these people who's of the belief that you can never have too much statistics in a game. You know, nobody's going to complain about the fact that they can go into the nitty-gritty bits of the menus and find, oh wow, I didn't know I had this many kills with X weapon, and this many assists with X weapon. They love that stuff, and it's good for both, you know, high-end gamers and low-end gamers. The low-end gamers can see where they need to improve. They can see, you know, some people like to baby gamers and say, oh, they don't want to know how badly they did, but I think, you know, for a lot of people, unless you're very depressed and down on your life, it's not too bad to say, oh, okay, so I understand, like, I'm doing bad because of this, so maybe if I, like, work on this little area and try and get that number up, I can have, you know, more even numbers, and I'll probably find more success in the future. And it's obviously good for the high-end gamers who want to, you know, concentrate on the individual details and the individual aspects that are maybe holding them back from being a top-end gamer. and that really interests me. Realistically, it's up to 343 to see if they can build a platform where gamers can come and they can attempt to refine their gameplay, but not only refine their gameplay, find sources of entertainment, find sources of Halo content that don't only just cater to competitive content, but also areas of, the Forge map of the week, for example. Find content such as machinimas. We could see a resurgence in content production. From a content creator's perspective on YouTube, and, I can't be the only one who feels the same way. If 343 were to reach out to certain members of the community and say, we'd like you to work on, this aspect of content production for 343 on behalf of the Halo channel, they'd be pretty much jumping to do it. They'd probably do it for free. I myself, the exposure that you'd get and the opportunity to be able to express yourself on a platform that large is pretty much unrivaled, and it's something that, could be hugely beneficial not only to 343 in terms of gathering more interest for Halo as a brand, but also for branching out the community and keeping things more close-knit. Because Halo has always been a close-knit community, and it's kind of up for 343 to further foster that environment and further promote that kind of creativity and that coming together of the community. And, right now, the way I see it, apps in the past have only been this gimmick-induced way to generate traffic for this app, and pretty much ways to generate ad revenue, bringing people in by saying, hey, there could be a code on this website, there could be something fancy which you can check out. And even more insidious than this, in the past we had CSR, which was a game mechanic that was highly lusted for by the community, and they basically implemented that in a way to generate traffic. And, this is a product first and foremost, and it should only be used to enhance the experience, not cutting away parts of the experience and putting it onto a tacked-on mode that doesn't really benefit the average gamer in any way, shape, or form. I kind of want to use a comparison and say, when I look at a game like League of Legends and how popular that is, the reason I don't play League of Legends isn't down to some sort of stubbornness, isn't down to me saying I don't think there's anywhere I could find myself enjoying the game. I understand that, there's such a huge proportion of people who enjoy it, there must be something to it. But at the same time, when I think about the experience, I think, what's the first thing I'm going to be doing if I move to League of Legends? I'm going to be having to do a buttload of homework. The same as with StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2, its content creation, I'm sure there's so much good tutorials and so much good work and high production quality out there that can teach the average gamer. But the problem is, it's not necessarily in the most digestible formats, and you have to go looking out for it. Whereas 343 have the resources at their disposal to say, hey, here's a platform where you can come on and you can learn how to play Halo. A lot of people will slag off Halo for and say the reasons it didn't appeal to the Call of Duty crowd in a large way is because they dumbed down aspects of Halo and it wasn't the same Halo that it once was. But a lot of these gamers that came from games like Call of Duty, that came from games like Battlefield, they had nothing to expect in that respect. Most of them had probably only played Halo Reach, or at least a large proportion of them had. Obviously, you're going to get the core Halo fanbase that disagreed with a lot of it, and there are reasons that, held it back other than this. But at the same time, a big proportion of people, and I've definitely talked to people who had the same experience, they came from Call of Duty, they gave Halo a chance, and they got absolutely wrecked because they did not understand the game mechanics. They did not understand certain fundamentals that come with Halo. And to be able to present this in a digestible format where they have all these different amazing commentators, personalities, and more so, they've got the recruitment of the pros like Ghosty Army, like Good Neighbor, who could come on and they could, I'm sure they'd be more than willing to make content for the gamers up and coming and say, this is a strategy for this map, this is a strategy for this new playlist, how you want to approach it, strategy, tips and tricks, etc. And like I said, I don't only want to, cater this to competitive, although I think that would be extremely beneficial to do as well. I also want to see Forge content, I want to see machinima content, I want to see, all kinds of YouTube funny videos that could be put on YouTube, but could also be put on the Halo channel and would make it a place to visit at the start of every game. There's a lot of time when I'm playing Halo and I get ridiculously frustrated. I'm not learning anymore by getting my ass kicked. I'm not learning by playing like a fool in matchmaking, playing on tilt, and overall having a stupid mentality to approach approaching the game, sometimes it can be best to take a step back and say, you know what, I'm going to look at some video content, I'm going to hear some analysis, some money into this, could pump some advertising into this, and make this a platform that was worth using in the long term, not just this short-term gimmick app that was used to get DLCs, to, you know, look at the smaller aspects of the Halo world, but not really get anything larger out of it, anything greater out of it. I think that would be a wasted opportunity. I think it would be a massive shame, and I really want to see them capitalize on this. I hope you guys agree. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. I have been Modest Major. Thank you for watching. Peace out.